When is the last time you knew you were the only human for miles?
Like, I would say definitely the biggest that I've seen. I just want you to see what this rock looks like. Welcome to the channel of the Roving Veterans.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Bethany.
And don't forget about our dog, the Traveling Maverick.
We chose our name because we RV, and we're also both military veterans.
We bought our first camper in 2020 and been full-time ever since.
On this episode, Rob's hanging out in the camper while I keep exploring. I kind of wore him out and he's a little tired. I'm going to take you to the Behind the Reef Road, located near Captiol Reef and Goblin Valley. So right outside of Goblin Valley State Park is a little area that has some more petroglyphs. So here we are. Got your little sign right over here explaining what everything is. Oh wow, they're way up there too. And I know you can't tell on camera, but they're pretty big. I'm gonna say, of all the petroglyphs I've seen, I don't think I've seen any so distinct. Like, I don't know if I can zoom in enough for you to tell, but that dude still has his details in his little outfit, what he's wearing. I have not seen that yet. But they say that these are among some of the largest that are in Utah, standing at 6 feet tall. I know that puts in perspective how far up that is. That is 6 feet tall. That is, yeah. Crazy, huh? There's a little chipmunk running back and forth. The unfortunate part is you can tell there used to be other things up here, but as the rock has eroded, it's broken off. Because look, over here you can even almost see like a circle thing, except it's broken, and like the rest of his body is falling off the wall. Then you come over here, same. Whatever was under it was already broken off. I bet that really looked cool at one point. It still looks pretty cool, but it would have just been really cool to see what, like, the whole thing, you know what I mean? But if you've never been out west, one thing you've probably not seen is petroglyphs, the ancient writings from the natives back in the day. These are some of the largest in Utah, standing at 6 feet. That is 6 feet. You just can't tell on camera, but it's huge. Now I'm scooting further back, and so those guys are 6 feet tall, right? It says that this picture, the story, I guess you could say, used to be about 100 feet until it broke off. So think of, it's just so crazy that has as little as that sound, as little as that looks on there, that it's 6 feet. But I just now noticed the one dude looks like he's holding a snake or something. Yeah, no thanks, no snakes. All right, so as far as the petroglyphs, kind of like any petroglyph, how long do you want to stay? You can stay and read the sign. You can think about it for a minute. You could probably make this stop anywhere between 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. How long do you want to hang out? But always neat to see petroglyphs. Another thing that I'm going to bring up is it is July 25th, and it is 9:10 a.m. and it's 91 degrees. Just be cautious the time of year you come. It's not a very far walk at all. Look, this is where I'm parked. There's the wall. Also, if you're here in the morning, well, it's cooler anyway, but the sun actually shadows that area. So you'll be in the sun, except for the walk to and from the car, pretty much, if you come in the morning. Just driving down the road, and I saw what they put on the petroglyphs in so many places. Oh my goodness. There's at least 4 of them, maybe more. This is a little family of them. Man, they scaled that fast. Sometimes days I just go, no plan, just start driving. I find the coolest things. Temple Mount in the uranium days? Wait, what?
I wore Rob out, I guess, yesterday driving, and so he wanted to hang out in the camper today. Well, I only have a few days here, so I don't want to waste it, so I'm out exploring. So the petroglyphs in this area, insane. They think came back from the Archaic period, 8,000 BC to 400 AD. Wow, that is old. Did you know that uranium is oftentimes found in petrified wood? But when you come from this side to this one, I mean, you saw they said they were mining for uranium here at one point, so I mean. So there's a day use spot, but there's also a you can camp at night spot. But one thing you really, really need to know is you are not gonna make it down here with the big rig. You might make it if you're tent camping. That's about it. Because I brought my Jeep, and there was even one spot in my Jeep where I was like, okay, I got a Jeep, I'm fine. But I wouldn't, yeah, no, don't bring your camper down here. One thing I'm gonna point out is there are like tire tracks and stuff on here. It looks kind of more like a wash to me, but either way, I have no idea how to get onto this drivable path, or I'd definitely be driving it. But it's not a far walk if you just park in the parking lot up there either, so not terrible. Next time you complain about how hot it is, remember back in the day, they did this with no air conditioner. It's not even 10 o'clock and it's already 95. So you see the Jeep over there, the red. And here's this little. Now this one seems a little bit bigger. Well, about twice the size. But I also wonder, did they have 2 rooms, or did they just, this was an office or what? So if parking in the parking lot and walking to the site, if you have a motorized wheelchair, scooter, whatever you call them, you'd probably be able to do this. Probably, I'm not going to say for certain. It really is going to depend on the day and how mushy or not the ground is. It's a very easy walk. There's a couple of places where you have to climb a rock or two, but that's just to get up to the site itself. To get to the site is flat enough that I think you could do it with a motorized chair and see it from the bottom. It's not very far. When is the last time you knew you were the only human for miles? Check this out, y'all. What a view. I forgot to mention it, but this is the behind the Reef Road. Behind the Reef Road. This one. So this is what the road looks like. It's made out of like natural, it's all rock. Look how cool this looks. It's just erosion year after year after year after year for millennia. It's crazy how these washes do out here, but look how bizarre this looks. So this is what it looks like when the rock just erodes year after year after year. It's just like these flat pieces, they just eventually break off. I'm going to point out something else. This is why a lot of places you will not find me going out on a ledge, because you don't know what's under you. You can't tell. But what if you got on one of those right about time for it to fall? Yeah, no thanks. You're never going to believe it, but this is Little Ocean Draw. Yeah, because Utah used to be underwater for quite some time. Alright, well, I officially made it to the Chute Canyon trailhead, but I am so far away from anything, anyone, and I'm by myself. So at this point, I'm going to turn around and go back to a closer canyon that I can do, just closer to where the camper is and closer to where Rob is. I passed it earlier. It was one of the first ones I passed, and I thought about stopping, but I was like, I'll keep driving. Beautiful drive if you have an off-road vehicle. please have an off-road vehicle. You're gonna wish you had. If you didn't, you're probably gonna get stuck. But really cool out here. Really cool out here. One thing I'm gonna notate, when I started this, it was called Behind the Reef Road. Now it has turned into Behind the Reef Trail, giving you even more indication that you probably shouldn't be doing this if you don't have an off-road capable vehicle. Very important.
I've just always thought it looked so crazy, absolutely crazy to see all of the holes in the wall. But what's even crazier is how big the holes are. So my theory, I haven't looked it up, of why they call it Captiol Reef is because all of the mountains look like a coral reef with all of the holes in them. It's pretty cool. Well, I haven't seen any wild horses at the Wild Horse Canyon, but we have made it to the end of the road. They even put some blocks up here to make sure, rocks here to make sure you don't continue on. So I'm just gonna kind of peek this way and see what's here because it's neat. It looks like pretty cool to me. Turns into a wash. End of the road for us. I guess we'll head back to the campground now. Or should I say the campsite, because there's not actually a campground. I bet this looks really cool when it's raining. But in saying that, I do not want to be here if it starts raining. That would be bad, 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 bad. I just want you to see what this rock looks like. Just years of erosion. Just look at this, like the years of erosion. It just looks so cool though. So here you got all the little rocks that were stuck in this when it was forming. And then up here you have the massive ones that eventually were eroded out and just went downstream somewhere. But just to give you kind of an idea, here's the little holes. Look how big those are. They are, I'm sure it's hard for you to tell. Hang on. I'm not a rock climber, but it's about the size of my shoulders, from the width of my shoulders, that one is. And that one's not even one of the biggest ones. Hang on. Doesn't it look wild and bizarre to see it all going in one direction, but then it shifts and it's coming from a different direction, all on the same ginormous piece of this. No wild horses in the Wild Horse Canyon today, so nice and warm at, it's almost noon and it is still a 95, so staying in the same range, not bad. Oh, by the way, this is the Wild Horse Canyon Trail. I'm doing it with the kayaks on top, so if I'm doing this, surely you can with a regular off-road vehicle. All right, well, that's going to be the end of my adventure at Behind the Reef Road. Because I knew I was going to be doing this by myself, I ensured that I left earlier in the morning so I was done before it got to be the hottest part of the day. The end of July, it's going to be a very hot time to be in this area. But in saying that, it also means not a lot of people are going to be in your way. So if you're one of those people that like to be somewhere where there's not a lot of people, you're going to be hitting at off-peak season, which is what we did. Well, y'all, that's going to be about it for this episode from the Roving Vets. We are a full-time RV living couple. We also go on cruises just about every year, and from time to time we fly to further away destinations. If some, a little, or all of that sounds like something that you would enjoy, make sure you subscribe to our channel and see where we go next. By the way, here's a hint. We're going to Moab. See you next week.